Yo, what's good? It's Skano from the gutter. You know, these racist bigots, like Charlie Kirk, you know, these fake Christian nationalists, y'all don't deserve the air that y'all breathing. Y'all breathing our air. If y'all understand history, it was y'all, white America, who was under the control of British imperialists. Y'all were beneath them. You know, they was putting belt to y'all ass. You know, and who came to your aid? Black Americans, both freed and enslaved. That's right. You know, as usual. You know, when they getting boxed in the corner, who they looking for? FBAs. But soon as the storms pass, they revert back to their default setting, which is the racism. But yeah, America has always been about classism and racism, but it was the white folks who made, and I have people popping up here talking about Africans enslaved their own people, and listen, slavery has always been a part of humankind. That's how civilizations were built, People enslaved, but it was not based on race. See, that's the difference between, white America, which started with the British, white people, Europeans. Y'all made racism, and slavery, as far as intertwined them. Because before British, colonialism and all that shit, slavery was not about race. It was not race-based. So, but y'all tend to forget, these bigots that jump on they soapboxes, preaching about, white superiority. Y'all forget that, y'all was subservient to the British, indentured servitude, really just a notch above slaves. And so when the Revolutionary War popped off, it was FBAs who fought alongside. Well, actually, they had their own. We were even segregated in the military, So we weren't good enough to fight. Our ancestors weren't good enough to fight alongside white people, even though we was fighting for the same cause. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah. So when I say that America wouldn't be what it is today without FBAs, that's not just me. That is the literal truth. But like I said, man, once the storms pass, and they don't need us anymore, so they feel, revert back to default setting. America is broken. It is. It's broken. And it's the white racists and the other immigrants that come over here and feed into it, to assimilate. Y'all have broken America, So all this talk about make America great again, y'all got to find a different slogan. So, what has happened? Because the government, white American government, they just took the British blueprint, but they fed y'all the fallacy of a democracy. You vote in who you want to, your political leaders, but they all serve elitists, not the common folk, So under this guise, for hundreds of years, while y'all feel superior, you know what I'm saying? Y'all nothing more than indentured servants to elitists. So Trump is no different. He caters to the elitists. He cares nothing about common working class white folks, So y'all fell for the woo-woo, because your government is corrupt. It's full of corruption, full of snakes, full of greed, and they backdoored y'all. They backdoored us all, But at least we see what, we see it for what it is. But y'all still stand on this premise of white superiority, and we must eradicate the black folks. They're the issue. It's your crooked ass government, So, like I said, man, once y'all put Dementia Donnie in office, y'all thought, when y'all say make America great again, what exactly do y'all mean by that? I mean, going back to the times where the cost of living was affordable, you could have make a decent living in this country and have a middle class, not just the rich and the poor, which is where we headed if we're not there already. Is that what y'all mean? I don't think that's what y'all really mean, though. I think what y'all really mean is go back to the times where, white folks were above everybody else and, black folks were subservient. That's what y'all mean. Do y'all know, based on data from the Federal Reserve, that the average black household, as far as personal wealth, 60% since 2020, a 60% increase as far as personal wealth amongst black people in this country. And that trajectory is continuing. You know what I'm saying? That's the largest increase amongst any demographic in this country, including white America. Maybe that's what got MAGA's panties all in a bunch. Because I'm pretty sure y'all are privy to the same data. I mean, who am I? I'm just a hood dude. So I'm pretty sure, that you white, elitists, that y'all, maybe that's what got y'all panties in a bunch, So, y'all are nothing more than indentured servants to this government, There's no other way to put it, But I think y'all realize that. That's why MAGA is turning on each other. That's why you see the self-cannibalization of white America. It's finally dawned on y'all. It took a long time, man. Y'all been kind of slow to come around, but it's finally smacking y'all in the face. And y'all realize, y'all ain't actually no better than nobody else in this country. You know what I'm saying? We all getting screwed by the same system. Like I said, y'all got built-in inherent, advantages. But obviously, y'all haven't taken full, advantage of those implemented, constructs, because easy mode, y'all got lackadaisical, man. Be honest. Y'all got lazy, you got lackadaisical and complacent, You thought it would be easy mode forever. Lo and behold, So, what goes around comes around, man. But, like I said, man, Trump is all about elitism. He considers himself an elitist, So, he isn't a puppeteer for elitist. He don't give a shit about the common working class, and that includes white America, So, y'all need to redirect y'all energy, you know what I'm saying? While y'all ramping up the racism, ramping up the vitriol, rhetoric, and redirect the energy to the appropriate target, and that is this crooked ass, snake ass government, which is robbing y'all blind, man. They got one hand in your pocket while they whisper in your ear. That's always been the play, So pit poor white America against FBAs and other immigrants, you know what I'm saying? So all you immigrants that come over here, thinking y'all got a leg up on FBAs and, So it is what it is at this stage. But, I'm screaming in the void because even though I'm pretty sure, these racists, y'all full aware of this, but you're powerless. You feel powerless to do anything about it, And it's a crushing realization, when it finally hit home that, damn, we ain't getting no farther ahead than black folks in this country. What happened? This shit is rigged for us, and we still can't, But we've learned how to outmaneuver the system because we've been doing it for, from our ancestors to now. We've been maneuvering around this construct, and we figured out how to get it regardless. So, what else can I tell y'all, man? Like I said, look at your government, and after you do that, grab a hold of your bootstraps and pull them up. No ops left Skano. You already know.